Are we too far apart? It feels like here we're not far apart, but on camera, it looks like we are so far apart.
How
I'm
do you
just
know?
because that's how it always is. When we are like, dang, get out of my face, then you look normal on camera. It's been rolling?
Oh,
Hey, how are you?
hey, great. How are you?
Good. How was your day today?
Perfect.
Now you're working down in Webster
Yes, full time.
full time, and I'm so sad. It's good for Webster, not so great for me because I'm full time here at Kimberly in our surgery center here. But you're doing full time at the surgery center in Webster, which is our new facility.
Yes, full time. I'm
Yeah.
doing scrubbing, I'm ordering and getting it all together.
And you guys did your first case there, what, a week ago?
Last Wednesday, we did our first 2 cases with Dr. Wentworth, our
That
new
was
surgeon.
exciting.
Yes, yes. A day we have been building up and waiting for.
Waiting and
Waiting
waiting
and,
for the
and
right.
waiting a little longer. All the puzzle pieces have to go together.
Oh,
before
yeah, yeah. Well, for those who don't know us, I'm Dr. Fortes.
And
This
I'm
is
Ashley.
This is the podcast, episode 4.
Yes.
The podcast is Behind the Scalpel, so we talk about plastic surgery and
The operating
aesthetics.
room.
Aesthetic plastic surgery, I might add, not just plastic surgery. And today we're talking about what happens in the operating room because that's kind of where my home is when I'm not in clinic,
It's my home every day.
and that's where your home is every day.
Yes.
So tell these guys a little bit about you, and then we'll get a little bit deeper and like how you made it to ACPS because I'm responsible
is
for
the man.
that. Yeah.
Yes. I've been in the operating room for 21 years this month.
She looks barely 21 now.
Thanks.
Wow.
To you. I've started out in the hospital doing open heart surgery, orthopedics, urology, general. I got into everything I could.
Mm.
And then as I became a mom and life got busy, I had to back out of the hospital and came
That's
to
too
more of a
much.
day surgery scene.
Mm-hmm.
And then I landed here in plastics.
Well, we know each other through a mutual friend
Yes, David.
who worked with you at a endoscopy center. Is that right?
Well, I was at a like a Memorial Hermann Day Surgery Center
Okay.
with endoscopy, and he was there. He did the endoscopy CRNA side.
Got it. The anesthesia
And
side.
so we started working together in 2014,
So 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
Wow. And then you worked at a plastic surgeon's office.
Yes, I did a single plastic surgeon's office for a year and a half.
And you were like, you did it all.
I did. It was one OR, and then you wore the many hats that when you're at a single surgery facility, that's what you do.
That's how I heard about you. That
Yes,
you were
and David
like
worked
killing
there.
it. And that place was running because you were making it run.
Yes, I did a lot, but yeah, it's an experience though. It's
Now, how did you go from working, doing big time surgery, ortho, hearts, to then going to a outpatient facility and eventually to a single OR at a plastic surgeon's office, and then kind of doing it all yourself?
So I started out at the hospital, and a few of my surgeons at that hospital wanted to open up their own day surgery center. And so I was asked by that group to come in and, help get the OR together and start getting that going. And I did because it was no call, no weekends, more of a life.
It's, yeah,
More
better
of a life.
work-life balance.
Right. And at that time I was starting, I was in my 20s and starting life and plans to get married and have a kid. And I knew that it was going to be hard to have a kid and take call and live at the hospital.
Right.
So I did that. And then after getting that up and running for 2 years, I went back to a hospital life, but in a small town.
Oh, okay.
So there, whatever comes through the door, you do.
Right.
Once I had my son and he was about 3, I decided I'd missed enough Christmases and enough holidays. It was time to
Right.
go back to day surgery.
Right.
So that's when I went to Katy Memorial Hermann Day Surgery Center.
Okay.
And I did that for 6 years.
And I heard
then
about
just
you. through our friend.
COVID's what
Oh.
changed a lot of things.
Oh, yeah. What changed?
Because we were not emergency
It changed the
surgery.
world.
Right.
It certainly changed our practice too, and we didn't know far into the future of what COVID would do.
Well, because from the hospital to what we do now, it's all elective.
Right,
You know,
right.
some of it is, yes, needs to be done, like your gallbladders and your hernias, but it wasn't priority.
Not boob
So they
jobs.
shut us down. No boobs, no butts,
No lipo, no tummy
lipo,
tucks,
no,
no facelifts, no rhinoplasties, no nothing.
no.
Just necessary surgery. So you transitioned to a plastic surgeon's office,
Once
and you
once
did
we
it
opened back up.
all.
Yes, we
And I heard about you through our friend,
Mm-hmm.
and I said, "Wow, she sounds awesome. We need to get her into our place." I'm not going to say who the other plastic surgeon was, but
no.
nobody needs to know. But then we met at our friend's house. You tell that story. That's kind of
So
funny.
David tells me, he says,
Where did you hear this?
I have a medium coming, and I'm like, what's this? That not my realm of,
Like a spiritualist
yes. I'm like,
contacting
wait, so what do
people
you,
on
I'm
the
like,
other
what
side.
is this? What are you telling me, David? Like, what does this guy do? He's like, we're gonna talk to the dead, and I'm like,
Right.
okay.
So
I
your-
was skeptical.
So
I
your
was
reaction? Oh, me too.
like, I'm like,
I was
gonna
told the
talk-
same thing. Come to my house. We're gonna have a reading.
we're gonna have a drink wine
Drink
and have
wine.
a reading, and I was like, this is gonna be entertaining.
Oh yeah.
And so I was running late
Uh huh.
because I was working.
Right.
So I get there, and he said, I'm going to have Paul come. You're going to meet him. I'm
Who's
like,
Paul?
Dr. Fortes? He's like, yeah. And I was like, okay, well, this is weird. Like, hey, let's go talk to the dead and hang out. Like, okay.
Drink wine.
Drink
talk
wine,
to the dead.
talk to the dead.
Get to know each other.
Yeah. And we did.
Yeah. It was an interesting
interesting.
evening, right?
And a dead person did come visit me.
I know.
That was crazy.
I know. Well, I thought, wow. I was skeptical too. I'm like,
Well, you were very quiet. You just kind of sat there and you had that,
that questioning look on my face.
yeah, like, what are we really doing here?
Yeah.
This wine better be good.
The wine better be really, really good.
But
But it was a fun evening.
yeah, and after
And we got to know each other.
Yes, we got to know each other, and that's when you gave me the information to
Yeah.
contact who I needed to, and I sent
And I
him
was
my
so
resume.
gung ho and so excited because I had heard about you. I met you, and you were awesome, and we clicked immediately. Well, for those that are watching this, what's a typical day in the surgery center? And our surgery center is located at the Kimberly office on the first floor.
First floor.
It's a quadruple ASF certified, so it's a
Quad A.
beautiful center, 4 operating rooms, overnight facility, great staff, great anesthesia, just an awesome
Awesome
center.
doctors.
Awesome doctors. I'm one of them. So, but we get started pretty early.
We do. Our nurses get here, which are our circulators in the OR. They get here around 5:30, and they start the day. They start getting the room prepared. They start getting the drugs mixed up for the tumescent that you use when you're wetting for the lipo, and
Yeah.
their day starts early. The patient's here by 6. They're
Right.
starting to get their first patient ready because the nurse of the room gets their first patient ready. That's who you're
Right.
going to see.
So there are 4 operating rooms, so probably for, we know this like the back of our hand because this is kind of what we do. But there are 4 operating rooms, so really 4 full teams
Yes.
working.
Right. So
Yeah.
the only time we're having surgery, and say it's an 8-hour surgery, the only time your team's going to switch is for lunch, and that's a 30-minute lunch break.
Right.
And a lot of our staff, because we don't really like leaving our rooms, don't even take that 30 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, they'll get enough to refuel, go to the bathroom, whatever, and then they're back in their room.
So for those who don't know, a team is
Your RN, who's your circulator,
the circulating RN.
your scrub tech, which is me,
Mm-hmm.
and we have 6
Anesthesia,
other, right? Anesthesia,
the surgeon,
the surgeon, and then if we have a fellow with us,
the fellow
and sometimes
is
we'll
working.
have a second scrub
Right.
to help.
So a lot of
assist.
people working together
There
as a unit, and I mean it's amazing. It's like a well-oiled machine how these things go, and we've done this, and we work. It's not like this is the first time we've worked together. We
Right.
work with each other often. Patient comes in 6
Patient
o'clock
comes
in the
in.
morning. That's the first one.
You'll check in at the front desk.
Mm-hmm.
Any paperwork you may need to do, anything like that. They'll bring you to your pre-op room, and that's where you're going to meet your nurse.
Yeah.
Get your IV started, change you into your gown. Some of them do a little wipe down, depending on what you're doing.
Yeah.
and you'll meet your anesthesiologist there. And then, of course, that's where your surgeon comes and sees you.
Right.
Does his markings or her markings.
And when the surgeon comes in, and I do this with every patient, it doesn't matter what surgery they're having, they're going to be having breast surgery, body surgery, face surgery, nose surgery. I always come in and say, hi, are you ready for today? Getting them excited.
Right.
Most of the time, they're a little nervous still.
Oh, yeah.
Because they don't do this every day,
Right.
obviously. So I will have them stand, and I will mark their body, mark their breast, mark their face, wherever it is that they're having the surgery for that particular day and that particular patient. And they'll have the IV started. They'll get antibiotics, which is important before surgery, about an
Right.
hour before surgery.
Right.
Anesthesia will come in and talk to them about anesthesia. And then when we're ready, and the room is ready to go. We got
Room's
all
ready.
the equipment opened.
Pretty much when you get there, if there's any urine tests or anything that need to be done, the nurse gets that
Yeah.
done, and then the nurse is going to let us know, hey, we're good to go.
Right.
That's when your room starts getting prepared.
And so the circulating nurse will escort them through the double doors that go
Down the hallway.
down the hallway
into
to
the
the
room where the
ORs, to
magic
the
happens.
corridors where the ORs are.
Yes.
And so they're not wheeled down there in a
No, they walk.
wheelchair. They walk, right?
Yes.
Into the OR.
And that's different for some people because anybody that's had surgery before is like, well, why are we walking?
Yeah.
So yeah, you walk to the room, the nurse brings you in, and then the nurse, if you're having lipo done, will have you stand there. We get rid of your gown, and the nurse will prep.
So it's
Just
just
standing
the patient and one nurse, and
And
that's it.
one
And we
nurse.
cover up the windows so
Yes,
there's
the windows
privacy.
are covered. There's a note that says, prepping. Every once in a while, your scrub tech may be in there if she's a female. Just helping the nurse or getting last minute things together.
Right.
Once the nurse preps you, we get you laid down and covered up, and then that's when anesthesia comes in.
Right.
We get you all hooked up to the machine, and sometime before you know it, you're off to sleep.
That's where we
it's
work,
our everyday, our normal.
But it's not a happy place for patients who are unfamiliar with it, so they're
Right.
really,
and
really
sometimes
nervous.
they come in and they're very nervous. Sometimes they come in and they're happy. Sometimes they come in and you're emotional,
Yeah.
and that's okay. That's
Yeah.
part of it.
Right,
But you're very well taken care of.
yeah. And so once they fall asleep, we prep them, and then we do their surgery, and everybody is on the same page. You're working the Mayo stand, which is where the instruments are, and I'm doing the surgery. I may have a helper. Anesthesia's taking care of the patient, making sure all their blood pressure and heart rate and their numbers are looking great throughout the entire operation. And then finally, before the patient wakes up, we finish up putting the last stitches in, and we put dressings on, and if they have body work or even face work, they'll have a compression garment put on, or a sports bra, or a cooling mask for their face.
Yes.
Yeah.
And while we're doing surgery, the circulating nurse is getting all that ready for us. So by the time we're done doing our job, now she steps in and we're helping her with your garments and getting you as comfortable as we can get you in your little garment.
Yeah.
Once you start to wake up and realize.
Right. And they go to an area called PACU, where they'll meet some other nurses that basically are recovering the patients from the anesthesia.
Right.
And once they recover from anesthesia, the family member will come in. They review instructions with the family member because the patients are still kind of groggy, even
Right.
though
You're not,
they're not
PACU,
talking
you're
to the
not going to
patient.
remember
No.
anything you're told.
No. And then when they're ready to go home, they get in a little wheelchair and they're escorted down the hall to their car.
And that's usually about 45 minutes to an hour, hour and a half,
Yeah.
depending on what they had done. Big body work, face work, you're going to be staying overnight. So once they
Right.
get you
Right. That's the other thing.
comfortable and you're a little more awake, then you go to your own private room where you'll be for your
That's
overnight
true.
stay.
And I almost routinely have recommended the patients spend the night. It's 23-hour observation after surgery for things like facelifts and tummy tucks or extensive surgery or even surgeries where they really don't have someone at home to take care
Right.
of them in the first 23 hours. So that's a nice perk that we have at the surgery center. We can keep them under observation for 23 hours. I usually make a point to see them the next morning before they go home.
Yeah.
And what's one important thing that people should know is that although probably 99.9% of the time everything goes absolutely smoothly and like clockwork, we're prepared for
Anything.
any unusual happening
Right.
where the patient develops a sudden allergy or has an emergency, and we're ready to take care of it immediately.
Yes. I mean, just like the hospital, our staff's trained
Yeah.
to handle
I think the
anything.
wonderful thing here is that because we have 4 operating rooms going simultaneously, we have a ton of people that can help each other
We do.
in any emergency situation.
Right.
And we have a transfer agreement with the hospital, Memorial City, in case we need to send them over for continuing care. So we're ready to take care of them, but most of the time, everything goes
Yeah, I think I
very
can count
smoothly.
on one hand.
Yeah.
In, instances that things have happened.
Right, right,
And
exactly.
that's what we're doing. And
Well, now you and I have worked together very often. What would you say is our go-to music in the operating room?
well, I'm going to be honest. So every morning that I know I'm going to work with
Oh,
Dr. Fortes,
you're gonna hear this.
oh, every morning that I know I'm going to work with Dr. Fortes, I have to meet in the hallway because I need to see like what mood you're in.
Okay,
Fair?
fair.
Fair.
Am I like all over the place mood-wise? I thought I'm pretty even.
I have to see what mood you're in the mornings, and then I know where we can go with the music. Do we need to start off slow with the little instrumental, or can we just go ahead and skip straight to Madonna radio and like get the day going?
Most of the time,
Most of the
we
days
can get into
we're
it.
going, yeah. And even sometimes if you're in a little mood, I just, serenade you with a little Grease soundtrack.
Right, which usually it's a sing-along.
It is.
I'm
duet.
embarrassed to say,
I'm not.
with
He's a great duetter with me.
and with not just the lyrics, but also the
Oh,
lines from the movie
Oh, yeah, we add in the lines from the movie.
down to a T.
Yes. Voice and all.
Voice, yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right.
No. We have to be in the OR.
Well, let
Our
me see.
voices sound better in the OR.
Oh, you can do
That's
it.
because the suction and the anesthesia machine's beeping and nobody
Oh,
can really
well,
hear
that's
us.
true. Sandy.
Sandy!
Yeah, that's my name. Don't wear it out, stud. But that's not the line. You come up with a line.
Yeah, not right now though.
Okay.
Can't
So
give away all of
80s
our
is-
secrets.
I know.
We do a lot of 80s.
And
I think I got you on video doing some dance moves actually.
oh, I know. They always have me doing something.
Well, you're always doing something.
Doing my happy dance because
Oh,
that's
you were doing like this booty thing with the hands and the legs.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It
It's
was like
just
your birthday or something, I think.
I just get inspired when I'm in the OR. What can I tell you?
It's a happening place.
I know.
And
We also
we have our ritual.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Tell them about the ritual.
So when he comes in after he's washed his hands and I gown and glove him, we turn. And we have this little tab that you use to turn, so I have to hand it to him. And then we have to do 7
2,
of these.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Then he's allowed to turn. But it has to be 7. No 6, no 8, 7 only.
It's our ritual for good luck.
Yeah, it is.
Right?
Yeah,
And we always have great luck.
we do.
So we have to keep doing it.
And
That's
then
our
we
ritual.
I bought us matching scrub hats.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Which I'm trying to
Our
remember
little-
which one the
Our little,
boobies?
no, it has like facelift and Botox and lips.
Oh,
and it's the black
yeah.
and white one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was probably over a year ago.
I know.
Your whole little crew.
Well, I'm saving it so when I go to Webster, I'll
your
put it back
whole little
on.
crew, we all got matching.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things that we notice from time to time is that patients come in with all kinds of interesting hair stuff or
Extras.
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 Extras that sort of we have to work around. And yeah, tell us about what you've seen.
Well, lash extensions are in there.
I mean, we prepare patients.
Yeah.
And we tell them, no
no piercings,
no
no
piercings,
contacts.
no jewelry, no contacts. If they have
Nothing metal.
nothing metal,
Nothing
because that's
metal.
important because we use a machine called a Bovie, so metal is not good.
Electrocardiography, So you don't want to, yeah. No
But
metal.
even with that preparation, we see some interesting stuff.
We still, yeah, everybody likes their eyelash extensions, which, hey,
Love them.
I can't talk.
I know yours are great.
But when I did come in for surgery, I like downplayed them a little bit so you
Right.
wouldn't notice. I did a more natural look. But yes, you come in for face work or work on your eyelids and you have
Yeah,
your fresh lash extensions, be prepared that
they might
they're
not
not
be
going
so
to come out the
fresh.
same. You may look like barcodes by the time we're done.
I
but
know.
Your eyes are going to look good.
I know. I mean, I had a patient a few years ago who called and said, "I've got these lashes, fresh eyelashes, and do I need to take them off?" And because she was having eyelid lift, and I said, "No, that's okay. You can leave them on."
Oh,
Well, she doubled up
yeah.
and came in with
The volume set.
volume extra.
And that's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money. But I try to be, gentle with her eyelashes, but, some of them
Well,
didn't make
and
it.
we use, when we do local and you prep them, it's going to, you're going to lose
Plus,
some
I mean,
lashes.
anesthesia often puts
Goop in your
little goop
eyes.
and tape
And
to
oil-based
protect.
stuff is going to take your
I know,
eyelashes off.
I know.
So, with that being said, try not to come in with them done.
Yeah, hair extensions is another one.
Hair extensions, and
Or
a lot of hair extensions, have metal in them.
right, right. I had a patient who came in with, I think, at least 10 pounds of hair extensions or more,
Yes.
and was having some face work. And so, again, kind of difficult to work
Right,
around the
and when
hair
you're doing
extensions.
face work and you have hair extensions, we're kind of combing through your hair and moving things around, and it's tough to work with them,
Right.
but I mean,
But we managed
we
to.
do, we do. Just know that they
The hair extensions may not be as
may a
fresh.
little naughty when they come out, but
Yeah.
we do shampoo and condition,
Yeah,
and
right.
I know our nurses
Right,
take their time
before we leave the operating
before we
room,
leave the operating room.
they get their hair done, literally.
Yeah, we
And then
shampoo, condition, and brush it out.
usually the next morning they have the
They
same
go get a
thing.
hair wash, yes, but extensions require a little bit more than our salon skills.
More than my salon skills for
Yeah,
sure.
definitely not at the hairdresser here.
I know.
Piercings, you're gonna have to take them out.
I know.
Like, there's no working around that. Maybe if we're doing lipo, we could,
Uh-huh.
depending. But anything else, we're using electrocautery.
Right.
Last thing we
So
want to do is
all metal has to go.
all metal has to go.
Well, tell me what's been your most memorable day or experience in the operating room with me. I know you work with other doctors in the practice, obviously,
Yes.
so it's not just me.
With you,
Uh-huh.
every day's memorable. Every day's memorable.
In a good
there's
way.
a lot. Yes,
In a good way.
There's just a lot, and plastic surgery. When I came, a lot of people were under the impression that a lot of our patients are here because they want the perfect body or bigger boobs or a bigger butt or. And I've learned that that's not all we do. Yes, we do make beautiful bodies and we do things to enhance people because they want it, but we also do a lot more, like these people that have maybe been overweight most of their life and they lose all this weight and they have all this hanging skin. They
Right.
come in and that's life changing.
Oh, yeah.
To have all that removed is life changing.
Right.
Scars from life traumas. That every day they look in the mirror and it's a reminder to them.
Right.
And then we come in and we fix that, and they don't have to look at that every day
Right.
and be reminded.
No, that's one of the rewarding things of my job is doing that for patients who come in and kind of want to feel better about themselves, and they come in very vulnerable, and they have things that they share with me that makes them feel insecure and makes them not feel their best. And so we're in the operating room and they have to kind of expose themselves physically, emotionally to all the people that they're just meeting for the first time. And it's sort of, I take it as a great responsibility to take care of them and make them not just change them physically, but help them feel better emotionally
Mentally,
and mentally
yeah.
throughout this process.
There's a case where I broke scrub because before the patient came back, this patient, after hearing her story and me being able to relate, I wanted to just go tell her how proud I was of her for making this move and for coming in and doing what she was
Wow.
doing. And it's things like that, it's not just plastic surgery.
It
We're
is not,
just making,
no. not at all.
It's life-changing for some people.
These are transformative surgeries that we're doing, and there's nothing frivolous about them, or meaningless, or superficial. I think it's very important what we do, the
Right.
work that we do. It
And
may
it's
not be.
rewarding for us,
Oh, absolutely.
knowing the story and then being able to help.
Right, right,
So I think that's some of my best moments. And, going from a hospital where you're doing open heart surgery and saving lives,
right.
and then you're like, oh, I work in plastic surgery. They're like, oh,
We're saving souls.
yeah, we're saving souls.
Uh-huh.
And it's rewarding all the way around,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, it's always been a reward for me after, 26 years of doing this, and I look forward to the next 26, God willing. So, yeah, I love this job, and I know you do too,
Well, I love
because
my
you come
job.
in with a tremendous passion every day.
I do. I love my job. People have asked, why don't you become an RN or why don't you do anesthesia? Because I love what I do.
Mm-hmm.
I love standing up there and operating with y'all. And I just don't, I think I'd be bored doing anything else. And if I just had to sit there and not talk or stare at a computer, it's not me.
Yeah.
I want to be
Well,
up there.
that's
I want to
true.
be in it.
I don't blame you. I love being in it every day. And when I work with people like you, I mean, that that just takes me to the next level.
And not every day do we come in and we're joking and laughing. You read an OR. I know that if something's not going like we want it to
Right.
go, everybody kind of just
Adjust
focus,
adjust
adjust,
to whatever
and
we need to
do
do to
right.
focus.
There's times we cut up. There's also times we're
Yeah.
very quiet. We just do our job. Now that quiet time don't really last long, but
Right, right.
we're not just in there.
No, no, not at all. But I mean, we're there to do a job, and
We are.
and we do it as a professional team. So
Oh,
we
yeah.
don't we never lose sight of that. Even though we may be
Serenading each
we're
other.
serenading each other to songs from Greece, but we're
And we can do it without ever looking up from the field.
boy, that's the truth.
I mean, we can sew and work.
It's part of my
and never,
primitive brain that
yeah,
gets
it's
into
just like
Greece,
over here doing its thing, and I'm over here doing my
and
thing.
my
And
my modern smart brain is operating.
I'm focused. I'm focused. Yes. But no, I love, 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 love my job.
Yeah.
And I love working with y'all.
Me too. I love it too. Well, you've heard what a typical day is in the operating room, and thank you so much. I wish it'd be operating more often,
Well,
but
next week I'll be
maybe.
here 3 days.
Oh, I look
know.
forward to that.
Yeah, I'm ready.
I hope we're in the same room
Probably.
working.
Sometimes I think
Maybe-
they keep us apart.
Well,
They're like, them
because
two have too much fun.
yeah, we're like the Wonder Twins.
Yeah.
They have to keep us apart because we're up to no good when we're together. That's true. Well, when you come to see me and you're ready for surgery and we get you set up, you might see her as you are escorted into the operating room. And
Yes.
we know when you see her, you've got the best. You
And we already know
really
you
do.
picked the best. I mean, you are my surgeon as well.
Well, yeah, thank
Personally.
you. That's true.
You were my pick.
That's true. So if you want to come see me, guys, just call the office, 713-799-9999, or you can look me up on Instagram, or you can go to my website, p4testmd.com. We'll get you in, and I'll be happy to see you and take care of you. And we'll meet in the OR with Nurse Ashley.
Yes. Let me know your favorite song.
Yeah,